Good. All right, good morning. Thank you for attending today to hear about our winter storm preparations. Your weather teams have really started to grow in confidence around their forecast, as has the National Weather Service and other weather agencies. So it certainly looks like a very large nor'easter will impact all of New England and really even into New York. In Connecticut, it looks like we will get a wide range of heavy, wet snow from maybe 2 inches down by the coast to as much as 12 inches up in the north, especially the northeast corner, and potentially even 18 inches over in the northwest corner. And that heavy, wet snow will really stick to the trees and weigh down and burden those trees. And then in addition to that, we're going to get high winds, so 20 to 30 mile per hour sustained winds with gusts well into the 40s and in some cases up into the 50s. And that is a long duration wind event. So that wind is forecast to start tonight, but really ramp up and blow all day Tuesday while the snow is coming down. So that will make travel very difficult on Tuesday. Then after a brief lull on Tuesday night, the current forecast has those winds ramping back up and really blowing all day on Wednesday with those potentially the highest gusts. And of course, that is after that heavy wet snow has already burdened the trees. So that combination of heavy wet snow, long duration sustained winds, long duration gusts will almost certainly bring down tree limbs and even entire trees. Those will damage the electric system, they will cause power outages, and they will block roads. So based on that forecast, we are declaring an emergency response plan at level 4. We're declaring that today at 6 p.m., so Monday, March 13th. A level 4 is signaling a fairly significant event. So at that level, we could have over 3,000 trouble spots on our system, and we could have over 10% of our customers could experience a power outage. So that would be about 130,000 customers potentially could experience a power outage. So given the overall size of this very large nor'easter in the area that it's impacting, there has been some level of competition for crews, but we got out very early. We were monitoring the storm last week, and as early as Friday, we started to reach outside our area to bring in line crews. So we started in Pennsylvania, moved out to Ohio, went as far as Minnesota in the Midwest. We went down into the South. We have crews from Carolina and Tennessee that are coming up, and we even have some crews from as far away as Texas that will be up here for our area. Many of those crews are already here right now. The rest are arriving today. They will all be here and ready to go first thing tomorrow morning, which is really just prior to the onset of both the highest winds and the heaviest snow rates. So just to give you some more details on that, we will have for this event over 700 line crews. The line crews primarily respond to customer outages. We will have about 100 troubleshooters. Troubleshooters typically are the first responders for fire and police calls and blocked roads. We will have 500 tree crews. The tree crews support both the troubleshooters on clearing the blocked roads, and they also support the line crews on customer restoration. On this event, we also have almost 100 service crews. These are smaller crews, often equipped with ladders, and they focus on that last wire from the pole that runs into your house. So if that wire gets pulled down, we have a separate set of crews that are focused on that. We also have several hundred additional field support personnel, so ranging from damage assessors to wire guards to folks that are making material deliveries to the crews. And then lastly, in terms of physical personnel, we have a large group of professionals that are manning our restoration management team. So they're in area work centers, just like this one here in Hartford. During a storm, we refer to it as our Emergency Operations Center. And these are a team of pros that are managing the outages. We're observing the outages as they come in, and then we're dispatching the crews to be as efficient as we possibly can on clearing those blocked roads, addressing critical facilities, and then ultimately restoring all of our customers. We have been in communication with leaders in all of the communities that we serve, the 149 cities and towns. We've been informing them of the plans that we've made for this event, and they in turn have been telling us of their plans for this event. We've activated our municipal hub. The Muni Hub is an online portal that enables community leaders to enter their blocked roads and critical facilities right into that online portal, and then that uploads into our system. We're able to see that, and we're able to prioritize putting crews on those blocked roads. And it's a two-way system. When we assign those crews to the blocked roads, the community leaders can see that, and then when we clear the blocked roads, they can see that in the portal as well. So it's been very effective in the last few storms, and it's improved our communications with the communities. And then just lastly, tips for customers. We really encourage folks to prepare today. This is a big storm. The weather forecasts have been fluctuating, but all indications are this will be a large nor'easter, potential for a large impact on the system. We encourage folks to prepare a storm kit, so batteries, water, non-perishable foods, any medical supplies that you need. We also encourage you to charge up your devices today. So whether it's your phone, your tablet, your laptop, get that fully charged today. So in the event of an outage, hopefully you'll still be able to have a good communication device. You can report that outage at eversource.com. On that same website, eversource.com, you can also access and download an app that will enable you to also report the outage and then view the any outage response that we have. And then just lastly, I would circle back to we encourage folks to stay inside if you can during this event, but if you are out, if you see a downed wire, in all circumstances, you must assume that that's energized and stay away from that downed wire until a trained and qualified person gets there to prove it de-energized and make the area safe. So with that, I will open it up to any questions that you may have. Yeah. So as I said, we got out on Friday and started reaching out and inquiring crews. We already have a large number of crews here, but there is a mutual aid process. So really from here moving forward, after the local utilities sustain any damage, if they need additional crews, they put that request in, and then the utilities would share and parse out their crews from there.
With that additional aid, does that double, triple, quadruple your normal capacity?
Sure. I would say for line crews, it more than quadruples our normal capacity, and it more than doubles our normal capacity for tree crews. And again, looking at this forecast, I think it puts us in a really good position. What this number of crews enables us to do is really to spread the crews out throughout the entire state so that we can respond in any particular area. We have concentrated an additional percentage of crews in the Northeast where it looks like we could get some heavy wet snow and the high winds, but then our highest concentration is really we're moving up into the Northwest where it looks like potentially 18 inches heavy wet snow sticking to the trees, and then the combination of that winds. And then of course, depending upon how the storm evolves, we would shift those crews around as needed.
This is a question we ask every time, but just can you explain again, how you prioritize power restoration?
Sure. I mean, we start really with the blocked roads. So we're working hand in hand with the towns on their blocked roads and their critical facilities. So those 100 troubleshooters that I talked about, that's really our first response there. And we're teaming them up in this storm with a tree crew to really make sure that we can clear those blocked roads. It's a priority for our towns. We try to keep the line crews concentrated on our customer outages. And really from there, there's really two things. We look at critical facilities such as hospitals and other critical facilities that really need to be prioritized and put on first. And then it's very simple. We're working from the largest outage to the smallest outage. So, and we sort them and we put the crews on the biggest outages and we work our way down. That can be frustrating for customers because if like myself, if you happen to live out at the very end of the system and a tree comes down and just takes out your particular road with a handful of customers, that can take us some time to work our way down the list and get to that outage.
I remember the storm around Christmas time, you said you had crews as north as Canada.
Yep.
Any crews from Canada this time around?
We were able to successfully acquire enough from the United States. So in this particular storm, between the Midwest, the near south, and then as far as Texas, as I say, we've got a large number of crews. We actually have a larger number of crews for this event than we did for the Christmas storm. You know, the other item, if I could just add, is I know a lot of you use our outage map to kind of monitor the storm. And I think this storm is different than, say, the last half dozen storms. The last half dozen storms that have come in have tended to come with a front, and we got a big, vicious blast of wind within a 2 to 4 hour time period where probably 80% of our outages occurred. So that outage map ramped way up, and then as we dispatched crews and restored outages, you saw that outage map come down. I do think this storm is different. Again, it's calling for widespread winds across the entire state, and it's calling for it starting tonight, but really all day Tuesday, a brief lull potentially late Tuesday night, and then all day Wednesday. So I do think in this storm, you're more likely to see that outage map ramp up and then kind of stay there. So it will look like status quo, but that's not the case. We're rapidly restoring customers, but as fast as we're restoring them, in this particular storm, there is the potential that other areas, other customers will be coming out. As we complete one job, we move the crew right on to the next job, again, following that priority list of blocked roads, critical facilities, largest outages.